I love getting new things. I just love it. I just love it. Oh heck yeah. What a treat. Like, you are reading NK Jemisin on this day. Hello friends, my name is Bonnie and welcome back to my channel and another book haul. So today I'm going to be going through all of the books I got my hands on in February, which there is way more here than I realized. Like, February is not that long. Why did I do this? How did I do this? I'm excited for them though. I've kind of broken them down into categories if I could, but it's not perfect. So we'll just get started. So the first three books I will be sharing are books that I received in the subscription boxes that I have. So that is ALOT and ALOT. The first one I have to share is Skin of the Sea by Natasha Bowen. This is the ALOT edition, which is beautiful gold edges, this stunning like teal turquoisey color, awesome end pages, and beautiful hardcover and under the cover art. And this was, I believe it was their December box that got extremely delayed, so I only just got it in February, but I am very excited to get to this one. One, this edition is just beautiful, but two, I know this is a mermaid book and I actually have had a friend really enjoy the story. I will share the flap because I don't really know much other than it being a mermaid book. A way to survive, a way to serve, a way to save. Simi prayed to the gods once. Now she serves them as Mami Wata, a mermaid collecting the souls of those who died at sea and blessing their journeys back home. But when a living boy is thrown overboard, Simi does the unthinkable. She saves his life, going against an ancient decree. And punishment awaits those who dare to defy it. To protect the other Mami Wata, Simi must journey to the Supreme Creator to make amends. But all is not as it seems. There's the boy she rescued who knows more than he should, and something is shadowing Simi, something that would rather see her fail. Danger lurks at every turn, and as Simi draws closer, she must brave vengeful gods, treacherous lands, and legendary creatures, because if she doesn't, then she risks not just the fate of all Mami Wata, but also the world as she knows it. Doesn't that sound like an extra epic Little Mermaid moment? Like, this sounds great. The next few books I'll be sharing came in the ALOT box for January, which mine did not arrive until February. But the first book I have is the Ivory Key by Akshaya Raman. This I have also previously hauled because I've also received it in hardcover through ALOT, but this is a paperback that was included in the box with beautiful art on the front and back, and this cobalt blue foiling that matches the sprayed edges. This is another just stunning edition. From what I can recall from reading the synopsis in my unboxings and when I previously hauled the other edition as well, this is a story of a land and a kingdom that is losing magic, and the one way that is known to return the magic to this well or quarry is by finding the Ivory Key. So we have four main characters that are all siblings that are all having to team up to acquire this key, but everyone kind of has their own motives, which I think that sounds really fun, and I'm very intrigued to see what sibling dynamics we have here. Like, what are the loyalties we're going to be seeing? I don't know, but I'm definitely intrigued. And then along with the Ivory Key, the main book that was in the Illumicrate January box was This Woven Kingdom by Tahereh Mafi. This beautiful edition, just so absolutely stunning. It's to die for. It's to die for. Like, are you kidding me? This is a new fantasy story written by Tahereh Mafi, totally different from her YA Shatter Me series. So I'm really excited that like she's delving into a new world. I really enjoy her writing in the past, so I was very happy to see that Illumicrate was choosing this for their box, and this edition is just so stinking cool. I'll put up the normal cover here just for comparison's sake, but like, who doesn't want a beautiful like shiny edition with these literally killer edges? Like, are you kidding me? I will read the back of this because it has been a hot minute since I unboxed this. Clashing empires, forbidden romance, and a long forgotten queen destined to save her people. To all the world, Elise is a disposable servant, not the long-lost heir to an ancient Jin kingdom forced to hide in plain sight. The crown prince, Cameron, has heard the prophecies foretelling the death of his king, but he could never have imagined that the servant girl with the strange eyes, the girl he can't put out of his mind, would one day soon uproot his kingdom and the world. Once again, like, that description just sounds so hype. Also, like, I think stories about Jin is so freaking cool, so it'll be fun to see how Tahereh explores that, and I think it's just gonna be a really fun time, and I'm excited to eventually get to it, and I'm just happy to have this stunning edition on my shelf. Like, I will never get over this. Like, hello? So that wraps up the book box books I received in February. The next ones I think I'll go over are the few manga I got my hands on. So Target was doing a buy two get one, it was either half off or get one free. I can't remember. They love to switch their sales around, honestly. But I managed to get my hands on Sailor Moon of Volume 8 of the Eternal Edition, Volume 9 of the Eternal Edition, and Volume 10. So officially I now own all of the Sailor Moon Eternal Editions, which is so crazy to me because Sailor Moon is like so epically long. Like, it's known for being a long series, but it's so weird thinking I literally have all of the manga here. I mean, I'm not including the Sailor V manga because that's like a spin-off thing and I don't have those. I might down the line, who knows. I have them all now. And if you guys saw my TBR, I am planning on reading at least Volume 8 in March. So before you know it, I'm gonna be done with this series. And it's just crazy to think about. The next ones I have to share are particularly exciting because they are the books I managed to get my hands on at my local used bookstore when I sold to them all of the books that I have recently unhauled. I sold a lot of books and I found a lot of new books for me to take home, so that's super exciting. I love getting new things. I just love it. I just love it. So the first one I have to share, I was especially shocked to find, but that's the UK edition of Band's Mourning by Brandon Sanderson. Literally, this is the last book I needed to have the full Mistborn second era in paperback until the new book that's coming out comes to paperback, but I have the Alloy of Law and Shadow of Self already, so I just hadn't gotten around to ordering this for myself, and to find this at my used bookstore, I was like, oh heck yeah, oh heck yeah, what a treat. So I can't really say what synopsis is going on for these books, because this is the second Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson, which the original series, it's all focused on the magic system of allomancy, which is if you ingest metals, you can have different kind of powers, and if you are a Mistborn, you can ingest all kinds of metals and do all kinds of crazy stuff. It's extremely fascinating, and they're also like overthrowing an empire in that one, which is super engaging, fun read. Era 2, I have not started yet, which I definitely need to, but I believe it's like centuries later, and it's also a gunslinger, if I'm hearing correctly. So I'm sure it's epic, I'm sure it's great, I'm sure it's fun. I just need to get to it, and I have all the more reason to do so now because I have all of the books that are currently out, and like I just really like the UK editions of these books. They're so much nicer than what the US likes doing for Brandon Sanderson fantasy books. So this is a treat, and I'm super happy to have it. Next one I have is Viscious by V.E. Schwab. I do already own this, but I own the original cover when it was still believed to be a standalone, that I feel like it doesn't really fit the vibe as well as this one does, which is like the standalone person and then just like skulls and stuff. It gives the vibe of the cold violence of this. So down the line I'll probably unhaul that edition, but I particularly wanted this one because I do own Vengeful. When you set it next to Viscious' old cover, they just look like totally different things. They don't look like a series at all. So when I saw this was there and it was at a discounted price, I was like, you know what, I want my things to be current and to match. So I have this one. Viscious is a story that it kind of gives dark academia vibes at the beginning / in the flashbacks, but it essentially is in a world where people will get extraordinary abilities when they experience a near-death experience. So we have like the timeline of Victor and Eli kind of having a dissertation about it at college, and then they start testing it out on themselves. Crazy stuff happens, dangerous stuff happens, and then there's also the current timeline when Victor is getting out of prison and is determined to kill Eli. So it's very like gray morality. Who is the bad guy? Is everyone a bad guy? Very interesting vibes. The next one I also found at my used bookstore was The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin, which this like hardcover that is literally in perfect condition I got for like $8. Are you kidding me? That's fabulous. That's fabulous. I do also have this on audiobook through Audible. I think I got it on sale at some point. It was not the recent Audible sale, it was like ages ago, months ago. I heard really good things about this one. I feel bad that I still have not read N.K. Jemisin. I was literally gifted Broken Earth trilogy for Christmas and I haven't gotten around to it yet, but I also have this one, so I'm creating a backlog for myself, and I need to just like sit down and be like, you are reading N.K. Jemisin on this day. This one especially appeals to me because how I've heard it described is that it is a love letter to New York with each of the boroughs being personified, and I think they're having to like fight off a monster to protect the city. I don't know. I'm gonna read the flap because like I feel like I'm confusing myself. In Manhattan, a young grad student gets off the train and realizes he doesn't remember who he is, where he's from, or even his own name. But he can sense the beating heart of the city, see its history, and feel its power. In the Bronx, a Lynette gallery director discovers strange graffiti scattered throughout the city. So beautiful and powerful, it's as if the paint is literally calling to her. In Brooklyn, a politician and mother finds she can hear the songs of her city, pulsing to the beat of her Louboutin heels. And they're not the only ones. Every great city has a soul. Some are ancient as myths and others as new and destructive as children. New York City, she's got 6. Okay, that gives a little teaser. Also, like, the hardcover, it has these like shiny tentacle shadow thingies going on, so I'm like, I don't know what is gonna happen in this book, but I'm intrigued and I'm just excited to own it. And then the final one of this category that I also got my hands on, Honey Girl by Morgan Rogers. I've just heard really good things about this recently, that it's apparently like really relatable to like people just like trying to figure themselves out in their, I think, mid-20s, late 20s. I don't know, you're just trying to sort out your life. I know our main character goes to Vegas and ends up waking up having a wife. Good for her, I guess. But I just know that occurs, and then it's about finding yourself. And I was like, well, I'm oh god, approaching mid-20s. Trying to figure out life, so this might hit home, maybe a little too close to home. I don't know, it might be relatable, it might be fun with the being sapphic, marriage of convenience kind of, or unexpected marriage. Could be cute, could be fun. I will read the flap in case there's anything I'm leaving out that I can't remember people say about this book. With her newly completed PhD in astronomy in hand, Grace Porter goes on a girls' trip to Vegas to celebrate. She's a straight-A, hardworking high achiever. She is not the kind of person who goes to Vegas and gets drunkenly married to a woman whose name she doesn't know, until she does exactly that. This one beautiful, spontaneous moment upends Grace's carefully laid life plan, staggering under the weight of her parents' expectations, a struggling job market, and feelings of burnout. Grace flees her home in Portland for a summer in New York with a wife she barely knows. In New York, she's able to ignore all of the constant questions about her future and falls hard for her creative and gorgeous wife, Yuki Yamamoto. But when reality comes crashing in, Grace must face that she's been running from all along. The fears that make us human and the need for connection, especially when navigating the messiness of adulthood. So as I guessed, it definitely is likely to hit very close to home, but I've just heard really fabulous things, and I'm always looking for more sapphic reads, and this sounds like a great one. Okay, our final category of this book haul is honestly just miscellaneous at this point. Other than all of them I'm just intrigued by, but you could say that for any of these, so we're just going with miscellaneous. So the first one in this category is The Summer Palace by C.S. Pacat. This is a collection of short stories in the Captive Prince world. Majority, I believe, take place after the trilogy or after some of the books. I don't know. There isn't really a lot of clarity in this of when things are happening, but I do know specifically the Summer Palace story is a kind of like vacation getaway that Damon and Laurent take after the wrap of King's Rising. So this one I picked up particularly because I just wanted more cute, soft moments. because like the little bits we got in the trilogy I really liked. And once I learned this existed, I was like, I want to see their cute summer getaway moment. And then in addition to that, I do know there are other stories in here that follow some of the other characters we meet throughout the trilogy. So I'm expecting this to just be a cute, fun time, quick read. So a win. Next one I have is A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. This one I'm highly anticipating getting to. I just couldn't stop myself from snatching this one. There's so much love for this book on BookTube, and I feel like the hype is even more now that it's been announced that it's going to get traditionally published as well. Although I think I prefer this cover over the new one that they announced. I don't know, this one just gives me a little more gothic vibes than the new one. But essentially this is the story of Dracula's brides, and it's supposed to be like, I think, diary format confession of why one of the brides killed Dracula. It's supposed to be like a story all about like taking back your power as an individual and just like discussing the wrongs that have occurred. And I've heard the writing is extremely beautiful and gothic vibes, vampire moment. I think it's queer as well, so I think I'm gonna love this. Again, another short one I really want to get to sometime soon. The next one I have to share is Tuna Sworn by Elsie Sutton. This I really picked up just because of the hype that Ashley and Becca have for this series. They're so passionate about this fantasy romance series that I really wanted to give it a try. Fortuna is like a nightmare. Like, she has the ability to like see and use people's nightmares, if I'm correct. Her brother is missing, and then I think a fairy male comes to her and is like, I can help find your brother, you just have to marry me. And I guess she gets like involved with fairy courts then or something. That's just what I've heard, but I don't know, I'll read the back because it is probably more eloquently explained than what I just did. We were meant to be seductive. We were designed to lure humans in. Tuna Sworn is the last of her kind. Her brother disappeared 2 years ago, leaving her with no family or species to speak of. She hides among humans, spending her days working at a bar and her nights searching for him. The bleak pattern goes on until she catches the eye of a powerful fairy. He makes no attempt to hide that he desires Fortuna, and in exchange for her, he offers something irresistible. So Fortuna reluctantly leaves her safe existence behind to step back into a world of creatures and power. It soon becomes clear that she may not have bargained with her heart, but her very life. So I was right. That made it way more like mysterious, intriguing than what I explained. But I just really want to try this out. I've heard like the series just gets better and better, and there's like swoon-worthy moments down the line as well. I'm not sure if there's any steamy things in this one, but I have heard there is in future books. So we'll see how I go with this one to determine if I want to continue on. But I'm just happy to have this on my shelves. Also, I really like this cover. Like, let me get closer. Yeah, focus on her. I feel like this cover is way prettier than I ever realized. I don't know, it's really pretty in person. I don't know if the camera's like picking up the detail, but I just like the watercolor earthy vibe of it. Exciting. The next one I also picked up because of BookTube hype, but that is Iron Widow by Zhao. And well, honestly, this cover is also very beautiful. Just very beautiful. And I will read the flap for you because I don't want to like wreck what this is by me trying to explain the few things I know about this, because it's getting so much hype and so much love, and like I just want to keep that bandwagon going. In Huiza, the highest honor for a young girl is to be selected as a concubine pilot. Supporters paired up with male pilots to power up chrysalises, the giant transforming mechas that humanity relies on to battle the massive aliens that lurk behind the Great Wall. But the honor often ends in death, and when 18-year-old Zetian's sister is killed by an ace male pilot, Zetian signs up to avenge her. The vengeance is swift, brutal, and unexpected, leaving Zetian labeled as an Iron Widow, a much-feared kind of female pilot who can sacrifice boys to power up chrysalises instead of the other way around. To tame her unnerving yet invaluable mental strength, she is paired up with Li Shimin, the strongest and most controversial male pilot in Akshaya. But now that Zetian has had a taste of power, she will not cower so easily. She will miss no opportunity to leverage her and Shimon's combined might and infamy and survive attempt after attempt on her life, until she can figure out exactly why the pilot system relies so heavily on destroying girls' lives and dismantle it for good. This sounds amazing. She's gonna like girl boss the shit out of all of them, and I love it. I'm so excited. Also, I feel like I forget how like epically sci-fi this sounds. I can't wait to get to it. I really need to figure out when I can squeeze this on my TBR, but I just can't wait. And then the final book I have to share for this book haul, I'm both so excited for and terrified to read, but that is Hara the Ninth by Tamsyn Muir. Oh my god! This is the sequel to Gideon the Ninth, which is my favorite book of the year so far, and I'm just highly anticipating getting to this, but I'm terrified because Gideon the Ninth made me cry like at least 3 different times. It's just so epic, and I want to know what happens next. So you bet yourself, literally when I was finishing Gideon the Ninth, I ordered this so fast. Gideon the Ninth follows, oh god, so many things. So it's a world of necromancy. There are different political houses and heirs to the houses. There is this summit they all have to go to for the necromancers to essentially like level up to godlike abilities. And so Harrow, who is the heir to the 9th house, a very like low down, quite poor house, she goes to the summit and brings Gideon with her as her cavalier, which is essentially like a bodyguard but with like a sword. Harrow and Gideon don't really get along, but they have to work together, and Harrow and all these other necromancers are having to really test their abilities in this like creepy underground system. There is like deadly moments, there is murder going on, murder mystery moment, there are sword fights, there is like gory scary moments, there is just like sapphic energy to the max. I love it so much. There is emotional moments, there's just like moments of like, what the heck is going on? And I love it. I love it so much. I'm sure I've honestly forgotten to list some other element or vibe that goes on, because it's so well done with combining so many different things. Gideon the Ninth was divine, and I'm excited to see where it goes next, because that ending was both so good and so goddamn rude. I need to get this read. And Note on the Ninth is also coming out this year, so like I'm both wanting to get caught up but also terrified of what I'll do when I am caught up. Like it'll be like, where's more? Where is it? I'm so happy to own this. So we have reached the end of my book haul. These are all of the books I acquired in February. I'm still puzzled by how I got so many books, but I'm so pleased with all of them. Highly anticipating all of them. It's kind of like, when do I have time? That's the question. In the comments, I would love to know if you have read any of these or if there's any you think I should particularly prioritize. My description also has linked my Goodreads and Bookstagram if you would like to follow or friend me on there. But thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I hope to see you here for the next one and hopefully updates on me reading these books.